Hello, welcome to my channel and series of guitar lessons that I'm starting specifically for beginner level, entry level students. So if you have a guitar lying around and if you have no clue what to do with it, or even if you have started learning and are stuck in the process of learning, then these videos could be really helpful for you. So in this very first video, I'm going to give you 3 important lessons that will help you not just on day 1, but if you practice them on a daily basis for days, months, or maybe even years to come, then that will really help you become a better player in the long run. So let's get started. Alright, so let's quickly run through the basic structure, the anatomy of the guitar. Now this side of the guitar, this part, is the body of the guitar. Now the guitar that I'm holding in my hands is an electric guitar. Now it's not necessary for you to have an electric guitar. Usually the guitar that we start learning off with is an acoustic guitar, and 2 of my acoustic guitars are out of intonation at present. I need to get them repaired, and that's why I have to use this electric guitar as a part of my teaching lessons. So anyway, this is the body of the guitar, and this part of this area of the guitar wherein I'm going to use my left hand is the fretboard, or you can call it as a fingerboard, fretboard. And this part here, this is the headstock of the guitar, and you can see the black dots on this guitar. If you have an acoustic guitar, you might have white dots on it. So this is just for your visualization. So this is the fretboard, and these are the small little frets divided between these golden lines. So this black dots is just for you to visualize. So the first black dot will be the fret number 3, 1 2 3, fret number 5, 1 2 3 4 5 7 9, and the one on which you have 2 black dots, that's fret number 12. All right, so the body of the guitar, the fretboard, the headstock, and now the 6 strings. The 6th string, the thickest string on the guitar is the 6th string, and the thinnest string on the guitar is the 1st string. So it's always 6 5 4 3 2 1, 1 2 3 4 5 6. And every string has an alphabet, a note assigned to it. And in a standard tuning, the notes are E, A, D, G, B, E. Coming back, E, B, G, D, A, E. So it's always 6 5 4 3 2 1, E, A, D, G, B, E, 1 2 3 4 5 6, E, B, G, D, A, E. And this is a piece of plastic called as a plectrum, or a pick, with which you play with your right hand if you're a right-handed player, left hand if you're a left-handed player. Now let's move on to the first lesson of today's video, which is about the right hand warm-up exercises. There are total 5 steps that we have to follow for this right hand warm-up exercises. And the first step is playing every string downstroke 2 times, like this. I'm plucking the string downwards, so this is called as a downstroke. So I'm plucking every string from low E to high E, and I'm coming back from high E to low E 2 times on every string. Here we go. Coming back from high E to low E. So this is the first step that I'll have to do at least 7 to 8 times as a part of my practice. And then I'll move on to the next step of the right hand warm-up exercise, which is plucking it upwards, which is the upstroke from low E to high E and high E to low E 2 times on every string once again. Coming back. Alright, again, as a part of my practice, I'll do it for at least 7 to 8 times, and then I'll move on to the next step, which is playing down and up both the strokes 2 times on every string. So down up is 1, down up, down up. Here it goes, like this. Coming back. So again, I'll practice that for at least 7 to 8 times, and then I'll move on to the fourth step, which is playing alternate strings. Now, alternate strings is by skipping one string and then moving on to the next one. So I'll start off with the sixth string, then I'll skip the fifth one, and I'll go to the fourth string. So 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. While coming back, it will be 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, and 4, 6. 2 times on every string. Let's try it. Coming back. Now you keep trying that a couple of times, and then the final step, the fifth step, is a bit tricky one, which is repeating the step number 4, but this time without looking at the strings. You have to challenge yourself to see whether if you can identify the gap between two strings. The reason why you need to do these 4 steps and all these 5 steps is because when you finally start using your left hand, you don't need to look at the right hand, whether if you're plucking the same string. For example, if I have to play something like, so whatever it is that I'm playing, I'm not looking at my right hand. Whatever note that I want to play with my left hand, it's happening as a part of my byproduct of whatever it is that I've practiced over the years. So just remember these 5 steps as a part of your daily warm-ups: downstrokes, upstrokes, down up, both the strokes, alternate strings, and alternate strings without looking at the strings. Now let's move on to the lesson number 2 from today's video, which is about left hand warm-up exercises. Now for this second lesson, there are total 4 steps, and what we have to do is there are certain finger combinations that we will use to play and use our left hand. So my index finger, I'm placing my index finger on the very first fret of the E high string. So, and exactly in the middle of the string, and with my plectrum I'm plucking that high E string like that. Alright, and then my middle finger on the second fret of the E high string, same string. Then the third finger on the third fret of the same string. Now notice that I'm not lifting the notes that I've played before. So it doesn't matter if I open it or if I keep it just like that. Whatever fret that I'm playing on the higher, on the right hand side, is the one that's going to sound. So at present, this is the note that will sound, because I'm not playing anything on the right hand side of this ring finger. And it doesn't matter whether if I place this finger here or no, but I will not lift them up because I want the finger to stretch, and I want them to stretch between the first fret to the fourth fret like that. So after the third fret, I'll play the fourth fret with my little finger on the same string. So the complete thing will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you notice my right hand is going down, up like that, alternate strokes like 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up like that. So down for the first stroke, up for the next stroke. Change the note, change the stroke, as simple as that. I'll do the same thing on the B string now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll move on to the next one, which is G string, G. I'll move on to the next one, D string, A string, and low E string. Now you can start off with the low E string and go on the high E string as well, like that. Alright, and then you can come back from high E to low E. But then you do it for a couple of times and then move on to the step number 2 of lesson number 2, which is about left hand warm-ups. Step number 2 is taking the finger combination of 1, 3, 2 and 4. So first finger, third finger, second finger, fourth finger. In this case, the fret numbers are the same as the finger numbers. So 1, 3, 2, 4. Same thing on the B string. Same thing on the G string. Same thing on the D string. Same thing on A. Same thing on low E. Coming back. Alright. So 1, 3, 2, 4 is the finger combination, which is step number 2 in lesson number 2, which is about left hand warm-ups. Let's move on to the step number 3 after I have tried it for a couple of times. Now step number 3 is taking the finger combination of 1, 4, 2, 3. Let's do it on the E string. 1, 4, 2, 3. Same thing on the B. 1, 4, 2, 3. 1, 4, 2, 3. 1, 4, 2, 3. 1, 4, 2, 3. Like that. Let's come back from low E to high E. Alright. And then after practicing it for a couple of times, I'll move on to the next fourth step, taking a finger combination which is my personal favorite, which is 1, 4, 3, 4, because this movement is happening in there. So let's do it. 1, 4, 3, 4. B string 1, 4, 3, 4. G string, D string, A string and low E. I'll come back. Alright, you notice that I'm letting the stretching of finger happen between the first and the fourth. So I'm not moving my hand. The hand is already fixed in there, and I have assigned the fingers. My first finger is already assigned on the first fret, second on the second fret, third on the third fret, fourth on the fourth fret. So these are the 4 steps that are really important as a part of your daily warm-up exercises for the left hand. That was about the lesson number 2 for today. You keep practicing it till the time it is practically happening, the shifting between the fingers. Now let's move on to lesson number 3 from today's video, which is about learning chords. And we will learn 2 chords, 2 basic shapes of chords, which are E minor and A major chords. So I'll quickly tell you the shapes of shape of an E minor chord. Just place your middle finger on the second fret of the A string and ring finger on the second fret of the D string, and you play all the strings like that. That is E minor chord. Now just make sure that you're able to make sound out of it, like if this is what is happening. So that is probably because my left hand, I'm not pressing it hard enough, and the tip of my ring finger is touching the G string. So I'll make sure that it's just sounding, every string is, I'm able to make sound out of every string. So initially you might struggle on that, but just make sure that you're practicing it. After a while you get it anyways. So just remember, finger number 2 on the second fret of the A string, finger number 3 on the second fret of the D string, and I'll play all the strings, and that is an E minor chord. Let's move on to the next chord, which is A major chord. I just take these 2 fingers down like that, second finger on the second fret of the D string, third finger on the second fret of the G string, and little finger on the second fret of the B string. And if I pluck all the strings like that, that is an A major chord. Again, I'm going to check whether if all the strings are sounding. Alright, only then I'll strum all the strings like that. Alright, now once you get to know how to play these chords, the important thing about this lesson is to see how fast you are able to shift between these two chords. So whatever chords that you keep learning in future, the part of your practice exercise is to check how fast you can shift between one chord to the other. Instead of check, practice the shifting from one chord to the other. So for example, if I play the E minor chord 4 times like that, I'll move on to the next chord, A major chord, like that. Go back to E minor, A major, E minor, A major. So once you're confident about the shifting, then you can increase the speed and check if you can play it in some fast speed. So that is an important thing about the lesson number 3, which is about shifting from one chord to the other. Alright, so I hope you've understood the 3 lessons from today's video, and if you have any questions related to today's lessons, then feel free to ask them in the comments. I'll be really glad to help. And I wish you all the very best in your practice, and I hope to see you in the next class, in the next video, in which I'm going to talk about what I call the skeleton of music theory, which is the major scale. So keep practicing and stay safe.